Britain's phone hacking scandal has reached the U.S. In Washington, there's word that an FBI investigation is underway into whether 9/11 victims were targeted in the phone hackings. Whit Johnson has that story in just a moment. While in London, there are breaking developments this morning. A top executive with Rupert Murdoch's News Corp has resigned in the wake of this controversy. So let's start there this morning. CBS News correspondent Dana Lewis in London with more on that. Dana, good morning.
Good morning, Chris. The Murdochs appear to be in full retreat today. James Murdoch has issued a statement acknowledging wrongdoing in the phone hacking scandal, and he says his company is soon going to take out full newspaper ads across Britain apologizing to the nation. James Murdoch arrived at the London headquarters of News International today silent, but within hours, Rebekah Brooks, his chief executive, resigned. For 22 years, an ally of media tycoon Rupert Murdoch, who last week flew into London to publicly show his support during a phone hacking and police bribery scandal at his News of the World newspaper that she has been embroiled in as far back as 2003.
Of whether you ever pay the police for information.
We have paid the police for information in the past.
The Murdochs, summoned to appear Tuesday in front of British parliamentarians, have indicated they won't be answering all questions because of ongoing criminal investigations.
Thanks very much.
But the committee says the Murdochs and Brooks will be compelled to answer because they're not criminally charged, and James has previously said Parliament was lied to.
Because he has stated that Parliament has been misled by people in his employment, and we want answers to questions about this.
In an interview with his Wall Street Journal newspaper, Rupert Murdoch said in agreeing to appear, he wanted to address things said in Parliament which he called total lies, adding it's important to absolutely establish our integrity in the eyes of the public. But as Murdoch's chief executive stepped down, Brooks acknowledged in her statement a sense of responsibility for the people already hurt by this scandal. It's important to note that the Murdochs at first declined to appear in front of the parliamentary committee on Tuesday. They were then issued formal legal summonses to come to that panel. They then said yes. The questioning next week, Chris, is expected to be fierce.
All right. CBS's Dana Lewis for us in London this morning. Dana, thank you. So we mentioned a few moments ago, Britain's phone hacking scandal has officially now reached this country. The FBI opened an investigation yesterday into whether News Corp employees actually tried to hack into the phones of September 11th victims. CBS News correspondent Whit Johnson joins us now from Washington with the latest on that angle of this story. Whit, good morning.
Chris, good morning to you. These allegations were first reported by the Daily Mirror, another British tabloid and top rival of News of the World. But here in the U.S., it was pressure from lawmakers that prompted the FBI to take action.
CBS News has confirmed the FBI is investigating allegations that reporters working for Rupert Murdoch's disgraced and now defunct News of the World may have sought to hack the phones of victims of the 9/11 terrorist attack. According to a law enforcement official, the probe was triggered in part by a letter from Republican Congressman Peter King of New York to FBI Director Robert Mueller. King cites published reports that journalists working for the paper had solicited a New York police officer to gain access to the phone records, adding it is revolting to imagine that members of the media would seek to compromise the integrity of a public official in pursuit of yellow journalism.
It's disgraceful. You figure that's during a time when the country was in absolute trauma, when family members didn't know if their relatives were dead or missing or where they were.
The allegations are especially troubling to John Cartier, who lost his brother James in the World Trade Center attack.
You might want to think about this individual just walking into your house and going through your private belongings, your private paperwork.
And the allegations from the Daily Mirror came from an anonymous source and cited no evidence that phones of 9/11 victims had actually been hacked. Chris?
All right. CBS's Whit Johnson for us this morning in D.C. Whit, thanks.